Grabill Town Council meeting dated December 10, 2025. Welcome all. The minutes of the October 29th meeting need to be approved. I wasn't here, so I don't think we'll be able to approve them today either because Jeff is not with us, so we'll have to grandfather that one back. But the November 12th, have any comments about that one, Lola?
No, I have a motion to go ahead and accept the minutes as printed.
Okay, second. Minutes carried for November 12th. Okay. Casey, DLZ.
Alright, so I did pass an agenda out. It was also emailed out to everyone a couple days ago. There's some updates and then several action items here for council to consider, mainly pay applications and some proposal requests. So I will go through this efficiently as possible, but can always pivot, stop, and address questions or comments as I do it. So just kind of going through the agenda, we'll start at the top on sheet 1, and then as I go through each one of these, I'll refer to a certain sheet number on the bottom right. On the Waterworks project, there on number 1, no updates on that, so really no major updates or work here in the last couple weeks. So no action items tonight. Cedar Creek Tip Trail, I left that on there, but I think at this point that's pretty much current and done. The only thing to keep in mind is there is that north section. We have an agreement with the county, but we're kind of on hold on that, pending stakeholders pushing that forward. So now I'll move to the county item number 3, the ARPA wastewater projects. There are a handful of items, and our office, mainly Dan and Elijah, have done a good job tracking this, of course, with Erik and Ryan, who've been instrumental in making sure this is all done right. What I did also, just to kind of help everybody with all these different items that are at, there's a map that I put together, because as you know me, I have to be able to see a map when I'm talking. So with that being said, the first action item, I'll go through the list. On the Grabill Road sewer extension, if you look on the map, of course that's there in pink, 76A, that's the gravity sewer extension. The majority of the main line is complete. Right now, working on the long laterals. With that, you do have a pay application here tonight to consider. It's pay application number 4. If you flip to sheet number 2, it highlights that amount. You're basically at 66%, that's API, and that amount due is $223,233.09. If you refer to sheet number 4 in your bottom right corner in blue, kind of highlight there. I didn't include the entire pay app, but you can see there on sheet number 4, flip it the other way, you can see I've highlighted that's pay application number 4 from API Construction. Of course, we're still holding retainage. They're at 5%, almost 27, and you can see the amount due there for $223,233.09. So I recommend council consider approval for pay application number 4 for project 7A1.
I make a motion we go ahead and pay the pay app for $223,233.09.
Second, motion carried.
Okay. You want me to get these two in one big group?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other item I wanted to talk a little bit about, this is relating to, if you go back to sheet number 2, this is relating to the PR request. The action items I have there in bold. If you look there at sheet number 2, there's a scope of work noted as 1 and 3 for roughly $32,000, and then a mobilization charge of $2,500, and then that's involving a water main lowering, which we'll go over in just a second, So that basically costs the town about $35,000 if you so choose to do that. And then that is on the Maysville, not the Maysville, but the Harlan line. And they've also asked if we do it to install some additional valves and hydrants. With that being said, if you go back to your map, and if you look there, if you look at item number 76A1, actually I think it's a little bit farther down, but basically what that is your gravity sewers on the north side of the road. Okay, you see that faint red line?
Yeah.
There's some properties that want sewer on the south side, and in order for us to extend a gravity sewer lateral under the road, miss the water main, miss the gas main, be 3 foot deep, we have to, if you would do it, we would have to lower the water main. That cost to the town is roughly $35,000. Now, you can so choose to do that. That's kind of your decision. I'll talk through some of the pros and cons. That is technically not your line. That's the Harlan Maysville line. Now we've had coordination with them. They're not against you doing that. We would have a certain amount of time to get that work done. It is in the road right away. It's next to the road. So there is some risk to that. That is a single artery to the town. They do have 2 water towers. We'd have to coordinate that. The other part we don't know yet is how much of the line we'd have to disinfect. We're still trying to figure that out. Keep in mind, you're doing this out of good graces for the property owners. So what that would mean if you didn't do that is the property owners on the south side of the road probably couldn't get sewer by gravity. And some of those may, even if we extend the sewer, I don't know if they can get entirely in it anyway. Can they still tie into it? They could. They would have to install grinder stations and pump across the road. Do you have money in the contract to do it? Yes, you have, I think, $50,000 allowance. But, you know, you don't have to do it, in my opinion. You haven't asked for an easement because all the sewer is going to be in the road right away. They can still get sewer by a grinder, but if you so choose to do it, they would have a little bit easier connection and they would have gravity. But there is risk associated with it. It's not your utility you're lowering. And then, you know, there's a cost there associated with it as well. I know, Eric or Ryan or Eric, you guys have any thoughts on it as well?
Just me thinking when we were originally started talking about it, I don't know if it's worth your while to even lower it. Those homes, there's only like 3 homes I think are going to be affected.
2 or 3.
2 or 3 are going to be affected. I'm bringing grinders across. I know that don't like grinders, but it'll be the homeowners. But that's a lot of money to lower a line and then potentially have some issues with. Because we don't have a final answer from the state yet on if we have to disinfect that line or their whole system, since it is their feeder line. I think it's a lot of risk for the money. And
Eventuality of people tying into it though, would that, there's enough open.
there'll be enough for a grinder because you have to go across the sewer at the same height as that water line on the gravity. A force main, they can come up 2 feet and come back right back down into your line because they're pumping to you. So that won't matter. Just running the gravity, we got to be a certain grade all the way through, and we go smack dab through that water line.
And the other thing we could do is, you know, we haven't got an easement from the property owners. We can just say, hey, if the cost is too costly, the risk is too costly, we could look into figuring out a way where you could at least, because you have in the cost of the project to get a lateral across the road anyway, it may be cheaper. We can look for a cost to maybe figure out, at least maybe get a drill across there and put some curb stops so they could get into it with the grinder, but I don't know whether they'll want to or not. I'm just saying if we don't do it, they may push back a little bit, but keep in mind, this is, you know, you're kind of limited on what you can do with some of this stuff. So now the other thing to keep in mind is when we're done, we got to make sure we spend all the money. So, which I don't think that'll be a problem. We can find ways to spend the money, and I think some of our costs have been paid as well. So
Now, have we talked to them about the grinder?
I don't think we have.
No.
I don't have. Has there been any? Dan, if Dan was here, he could probably tell you he's on vacation today. But I don't know if they're also aware of the complications of the cost to even do this. Do you know, Erik, has anybody talked to him and said, hey, we're trying to do this, but this is gonna be a huge risk and cost to the project?
As far as
For the property owners on the other side of the road.
I don't think it has been.
Okay.
And there's,
I don't
did you
think
say three?
I think there's 2 or 3.
I don't think they've been given the second option.
I'd say let's talk to them about using grinder pumps.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm asking about is there's enough land there open that we could have 6 or 8 homes in there eventually that we could supply or help out.
Yeah, I need to check. I think that location we have in there is not correct. I think it's down far, isn't it farther down towards the end of the
It's
line?
it's down towards the end of the line down
Yeah.
here.
I've got that noted wrong. It's towards the end where those houses are at the end, aren't they, Ryan?
Yeah, that was to my knowledge. It's
Yeah.
down here towards the end.
They're existing Amish properties.
It's on the east side of that long driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're down here on the very end.
Right.
That's where the line gets pretty
Right.
shallow at right there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question.
John,
So, and you're talking the lateral, okay, now there's others that are gonna be boring across with like just 6-inch.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So could those same people, instead of doing a grinder pump, you think if they bring a 6-inch
No, it's the
bore,
same problem.
will it still,
Same-
it'll still hit into the water?
Whether
Yeah,
it's a
they're
6 or an 8,
identical height.
whether it's a 6 or 8,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to spend $35,000 to $40,000 to get a gravity lateral or main across the road.
I got another question. The one place back to the west from that driveway, is that gonna be the same true for him? Cause he was just going to go, I think with a 6-inch bore.
No, I
He's
think
he's ahead of where the lateral is gonna be. He's on this side of where that lateral. You think that'll still affect him too, or?
like
I
I've
can
not known
probably-
the exact location. To my knowledge, it was only that lateral across
Yeah.
Right.
was in the way.
So right.
All the rest of them were clear to go across. They
Yeah,
ended
just
up
the one.
clearing.
And
This is the last. Literally, I don't even see the last one or the second to last one. It goes right through the water line. There's just not enough clearing in there.
when I talked to Harry, I thought everything else was clear,
Yeah.
other
Correct.
than that,
It's just that
so.
one.
Yeah, just that one.
Do you want us to hold on it and have some discussions with the property?
yeah, I would say, I don't wanna get into lowering that water main if we don't have to.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if it was
That's
your
what-
water main, it'd be different, but this
Yeah,
is,
it's not our water main, yeah.
it's not your water main. You gotta coordinate it with them, you got testing.
Who's gonna do that?
It's
They-
their
they-
own.
They have no interest in it because it kinda helps them out a little bit.
Couple 40.
And help it, they have no interest in helping because it gives them another point where they can separate and put a hydrant in and flush.
Some
and-
simple and basic.
Well,
'cause they-
they've asked, they said if we did it, they would pay for the hydrant and the valve, but they're not gonna pay for the work to lower
Yeah.
Right.
the water main.
I'd say let's
Okay.
talk to them about a
What
grinder.
pipe was it? That was 21, right? Is there 21?
I believe so.
Yeah, it
it's
wasn't
what
even. Yeah, huh?
It's a white, it's.
Yeah,
plastic.
yeah. So it was even a mess to play with.
Yeah, that's a dangerous stuff to play with.
Don't you think, Lon?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd like to.
So we'll hold on those 2 action items, but we do have, if you go to PR number 2, if you look on your map, if you look at 76A1, right here, there is a property owner that can get into that sewer. They may have to drill or put a grinder pump in. I think they're farther south, Wilmer, the dad. So we just need to put another Y connection in for them.
Mhm.
So there is a cost here. If you go to sheet number, so Claude, if you go to sheet number 7 in the bottom right corner,
You know, from the guy on the cross road, right?
yeah, it's across the road. So again, this would come out of the allowance. We have a $50,000 allowance, but there's $3,695. We would recommend that you consider that additional expense or that proposal request, and then we would take that out of the project contingency allowance to facilitate that connection. simply adding a Y connection and some backfill, so there's nothing associated with the water on that.
Is that to run the 6 across, or is that to run the 1.5 inch across?
I think it's the 6 across so then they can connect
Okay,
to it.
that's what I thought too. Yeah, that's
So it's sheet number 7. And so it's basically another,
This,
it's another Y connection and lateral to facilitate another connection there.
sounds like a pretty easy solution.
Yeah, and again, we would come out of the project allowance to connect that property owner. So, ask council to consider a motion approving proposal request number 2 for $3,695.
I make a motion, we do the quote for $3,695.
Second.
Okay, thank you.
PR number 2.
And then again, that won't be a change order, that comes out of the project contingency allowance. Moving on to projects 76A2, this is the force main project. You do have a pay application here tonight. If you go to sheet number 2, still on sheet number 2, this would be pay application number 2 for $39,710 to underground contractors with this. They're about 58% complete. And then that particular pay application is in your packet, noted in the bottom right corner, blue, sheet number 8. Sheet number 8, bottom right corner. You can see there, this is pay application number 2, underground contractors, got that highlighted. And then the amount is for $39,710, and of course you're still holding retained, so they're making good progress on the project.
I make a motion that we go ahead and pay $39,710.
Second. Motion carried.
And then we have some PR requests here. There was a discussion about a longer lateral, and then some additional items we've added. If you go to PR request number 1, this is an item we talked about, I believe, at the last meeting. This is for, instead of putting a gravity sewer under the road, just putting connecting the force main to it. So if you go back to your map, you can see the yellow, that red line going down the road. That's our force main. You go over to the left, on your sheet. If you go to the left on your sheet, and you can see the red line on Page Road. That's our force main. If you go up to the top, PR number 1, that's what we talked about the last meeting. We're not doing the gravity connection. We're just going to drill into that existing manhole to save some money. So with that, you have a deduct here with PR number 1 of $12,455. So there's a breakdown there. If you want to look at it, it's on sheet number 9. Sheet number 9 in the bottom right corner. We asked him to give us a couple different options, but the particular option here we talked about the last meeting was just drilling across the road. So there's a total deduct there between the savings and the adding of $12,455. So we would recommend council approve that PR proposal request number 1 for a savings of $12,455.
I make a motion we go ahead and do the proposal request for number 1.
Second. Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. And then the next proposal request is for a couple of the service laterals we got. The properties are a little bit farther off the road. So if you go to proposal request number 2, service up to an inch and a half. That would include 2 services. That's the service line, the curb stop. If you go to sheet number 10, on the bottom right corner, that shows the breakdown there. So for 2 of those, one of them's $32.50, we got 2 of them. So we have a cost increase there of approximately $6,500. So we recommend council approve that proposal request. And again, that would come out of the project allowance.
That'd be proposal number 2.
Correct.
Make a motion, we go ahead and accept the proposal number 2.
Second. Motion carried.
Thank you. And then on that same project, we have added, and Erik and Ryan, you may have talked to Dan about this one, but at the kind of at the bottom of that project, the bottom left where that force main ended, we have looks like an inline clean out and a 3-inch valve that we're adding for $1,000. So we'd recommend council approve that as well.
I make a motion, we go ahead and
Second.
do that number
Carried.
clean out.
And then one more proposal request that would come out of the project allowance would be PR number 4 for some additional small 3-inch isolation valves and some couplers at the air relay structures for $3,000. And again, I think this is something that Dan's talked to you guys about as well.
They added them to the line to be able to work, isolate the sections.
So we would recommend council consider that for approval.
I'll make a motion, we go ahead and do that.
Second. PR number 4. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So on that project, we're still running under budget. So once we get closer to some of these things complete, we'll give you kind of a summary of where we're at, and then you can make a decision on that line going further south.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
That's gonna make or break going further south is what we have left on.
Right.
Otherwise,
You can kind of coordinate that on all the projects with Stephanie's been keeping track of what you have of the ARPA funds, but we gotta keep in mind, we gotta spend those by the end of 27.
yeah.
26, isn't it 26?
Until it's 26.
Yeah. If you go to the next, the sewer lining project, you do have an action item here. We're basically done with that project, right?
I believe so,
Yeah,
yes, except
so,
if you got any extra, or,
with this pay application, it's pay application number 2, it's for $112,847.42 to in situ form. That particular pay application is in your packet. It's sheet number it's a sheet number. Did I not include it? I have it with me, but I was hoping that you could see it, of course, in your packet. Give me a second.
I make a motion, we go ahead and
Yeah, I have
pay
that.
that for $112,847.42.
Okay. And I'll have that on this on.
Second. That motion carried.
Okay, and then on that project, again, we're gonna have, I think roughly, you can see we still have about 100,000 left on that project, so we're gonna be significantly under budget. And then on the lift stations, you do have one action item here to consider. This is pay application number 1, to underground contractors as well for $286,472.52. That is in your packet. Sheet number 13.
I make a motion, we go ahead and pay the pay app for $286,472.52.
Second. Motion carried.
Alright, Thank you. So I'll get all of that to you, Claude, you can sign here when we're done. And then on the 2024 streets for Brooks, they're basically done with that. We just gotta do the final walkthrough and close the project out, which I'm not gonna do that now with the snow, of course. If you go to the next project, which is also Brooks 2024-2, again, we'll have to do a walkthrough in the spring. I did talk to Todd. Brooks is hoping to get that fence installed in the next couple weeks. So they got the material in, and they're hoping to get that done yet this winter. You can see we're about 88%, 89% billed. You do have a pay application here tonight for consideration for $81,127.54. That's pay application number 5, and that is in your packet, sheet number 15. Sheet number 15 in your bottom right. So choose one to look at it. It was in your email, but we would recommend you pay, approve pay application number 5 for payment.
I make a motion, we go ahead and pay app number 5 for $81,127.54. You got enough money to cover all that, Claude?
Yeah, I got it in my wallet. Motion get seconded and carried.
Alright. So, almost done.
Shrink
all
it
out.
I don't have anything, so. He's on top of the stove this year.
On the water system planning, we did get a letter, just a quick update. The gentleman, Joe Graber with Cedar Creek Sawmill, if you recall, he requested water. Dan and I got him some preliminary information. He was, we did talk to the city of Fort Wayne, and they are in favor of you serving it. We'll have to eventually update the agreement to expand the area. So this is out, if you remember, sewer, we have a service area, but you don't have to for water, but we did for the city. If this is Grabill, it's up here in this area, kind of the northwest corner. IDM was kind of giving him some pressure about, hey, what's going on? I basically sent an email to IDM and just let them know that, you know, we have capacity to serve them. We've gotten approved by the city. They were asking for schedule. I said the schedule's completely up to them. I told them that it would be a privately installed and paid for water main. If it's done to the town standards, they would then turn it over. And then, you know, the schedule would depend on them giving us plans, reviewing them, and getting a state permit and installing it. So basically,
I got the plans and I forgot to bring them.
oh, okay,
They dropped them off, they give them to me about a week ago.
okay,
And I called and left a message with somebody
okay,
that I had them, so I do have them,
okay,
and, so, from their engineer.
okay.
Good, we're moving along. Good.
So we'll get a copy of those and just make sure you guys see a copy of them as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's moving forward. Going back to your agenda, no updates on the meter. The Page Road meter, the ball's in the City of Fort Wayne City Utilities Court. As we were talking about before the meeting, you did get awarded your community crossing grant, which was good news. As we talked about, it was much more competitive this year. I think Todd found out there were, for the small towns, there were 250,000 almost in application, 250 million in projects, and I think only 100 million was awarded. So now with that, we got the survey done. We're on the same time frame. We got to get it done quicker, but we kind of started that. So basically, we'll be bidding that in late January or early February. Plan review. If you go to sheet number 17 or 16 in the bottom right corner, 16 in the bottom right corner. This is an application. You can see it's actually a NIPSCO station, but it's under an application from Grabill Trust. I think they must be the general contractor. But if you flip to the next couple sheets, sheet number 17, sheet number 17 and 18. So if you look at sheet 17, you can see where we're at. We're basically just north of David Drive. It looks like maybe they've given up trying to put it in the park, I'm not sure.
I believe they have.
Yep, and they've decided, this is probably a better location for the town, but it's within the industrial park. You can see it's there just north, I don't know which industry that is.
That there's right just north of, what's the name of that company that does
Our
mix
creek
and
is on the other side of our.
They just submitted it to.
Yeah.
Just south of our creek.
So we gotta.
Just
South of
south
R three, in
R
between,
three, yeah.
and, the plastics place.
Probably in the process.
It's right after the plastic place, that old.
Yeah.
You know, they have a great big piping system right there.
Yep,
Yep.
that makes sense.
Gas company does, so.
If you go to the next sheet, you can see that, it kinda shows you what they're doing. The last sheet on your pack, yeah, it just, that's what they submitted to us. The right is,
Between the big factory and
the road, Roth Road. And you can see they're building a drive back, gonna have a fence, they're gonna have a small, the pink is a small building, other than that, it's some substation stuff. We just need to send something to the county that we're not against it, or we don't have any,
Right.
I don't see any issues with it, do you guys? I mean, there's no water or sewer and.
There's water along the edge of the
There's water
factory.
Yeah, but they don't need, I don't think they need water, they haven't requested it. Right, so, if you guys are in favor of that, which we will send, based on the advisement of the town council, that, the town of Grabill has no comments
I have no
associated with the
problem
project.
I
We
think
do have a water main that runs along the edge of that factory down there, goes back behind it.
that's the best location for it.
Yes,
Yeah.
better than the park.
Let's put it in the
A lot
park.
better than the park, that's
Yeah.
good, and Grabill Fair will be happy,
Yeah.
cause of the big foot truck.
Mhm.
Alright, and then my final two, items, and these would just be some motions. Basically, these are items that, if you recall, we had to get a letter from the town of Grabill saying that you would, update your ADA plan and your Title VI in order to stay, eligible for community crossing, future applications. And what that is you already had us do your ADA in 2013, and then all we've done is update it we've updated the date, we've updated the council members, but then really what we've done is basically just attached an appendice to keep it simple. We've just attached a appendice that, we've just attached appendices saying that, and it describes it in here, that these are the roads, we've noted the roads that you've done, in the last 12 years, which you've done a lot. So, basically just saying, hey, as part of your work, you've updated these roads and revised the sidewalks and installed ramps, so, we would ask council just to approve the 2025 update to the, ADA, self-evaluation and transition plan.
I make the motion, we go ahead and accept, to improve our applications,
Update your
update, ADA.
ADA.
Yep.
Second?
Okay, and my final item is, on the same note, we did your Title VI non-discrimination plan, I think it was 2 years ago, but NDOT's requiring that that's updated with all the current names, so that is in here. So that needs to be, this particular item needs to be signed by council, and then, we have, I think we had the clerk before as the Title VI coordinator. Did Todd talk to you about that? But it has to be somebody that's here in terms of, we can list somebody else, but currently we have that.
It's typically the clerk.
Yeah. So, either way, we've updated that with the new clerk, the new names, and redated it, so, we would ask council to, if you so wish, to update and approve the updated Title VI plan for 2025 and have that signed.
Make the motion, we go ahead and, approve the Title VI program update.
Second and pass. Okay.
And that's all I have on my agenda, but I can answer any questions.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So,
we've done a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot going on.
got community crossing this, for next year. You started your surveying and things are
The ones you
progressing
just got
well?
awarded?
Yes.
Yeah, we've got the survey complete, we started the design, so basically, probably in early February, we would be taking bids on that project.
Great. Much simpler than the last.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Zach, what do you have for us?
Actually don't have any, I had a couple things, but there's not really much time left, so. Actually, I don't have anything, nothing new to report, so.
What, on November 12th, there was some comments about underground piping being damaged and
Yeah,
whatever,
we,
how did we come out with that?
there was an order, finding that, the town, there was a violation, and the remedy was, some training, and if the training was denied, there would be a fine, but it's my understanding the training's all been complete, so.
December 3rd, we all sat on the training.
So the training occurred, and that will satisfy, I mean, I thought they were gonna issue something later and say, here's the training, but did you affirmatively go and say, what training do we need, or?
No, I got the email response came to me too from what came from them.
Okay, so you,
Yeah, I was in the same chain that you were on
Okay.
for the most part on that. So basically, we had to go and sign. I had to go on their site and sign up for a class, and we were able to do it via zoomed in. We were, I don't know, there was probably another 20 or 25 people on that same class, but it was actually pretty informative on several things. Were pretty
Changed a
informative.
lot of stuff, it's,
Yeah, I mean they got us on not calling in that exact location, and that it was a gas line. Even though we called in the parking lot.
and it had been marked 20 times before
Yeah,
that.
that's what they got us on. I mean, that he didn't actually call in that specific area. It was the gas station parking lot, not the liquor store parking lot. You know, it was all located, but that's what I mean. It was neither here nor there, but they did say, from now on, you do that kind. That's why all these locate tickets are the way they are and so big, because this happened to everybody. Just do the whole thing. Doesn't matter what you're doing. You're gonna do the whole yard, front, back, across the road. I mean, because that's the way they're covering themselves. If they have to go outside the zone they're in, that's the way they cover themselves. And since it was a gas line, that was really the big thing. Get the gas companies are the only ones regulated through this regulation. They're the only ones regulated. Anybody else doesn't have this, the gas company. So.
Okay.
But it was very informative. I mean, it was. So.
so with that training complete, that closes out the matter.
There's that. Good. Okay, what you got for us, Ron?
I have an update. Erik and them just finished up taking the lead and copper samples. We had a really high one come in today, but I do believe I got an email into lady at IDEM because we are at 2, which does allow us to be over the 90% threshold. So we should be clear of having to do all the violation paperwork. But I will confirm that because I know next year the number goes from, it's currently 15 goes to 10. And we will then, if that was the rules this year, we'd be in violation again. We have a 13, a 82, and a 367. So a 367 was our last one that came in. So we'll get in that house too and take a look. The other high one we had last 6 months ago, that guy never let us in to look at anything. Everybody else let us in. We did the inspections and looked at everything. So we'll confirm. I'll confirm with IDEM that we're good. So hopefully we bring back down that 13 comes down next year too. So but there's no lead in all the ones we've checked at. They've all been just copper. So it's all mostly been fixture problems. So
Okay. What else do you have?
That's all that I have, other than what Casey talked about. I know that's they've been doing that and locate, so.
Been sewer projects and locates, guys, for like 2 months straight, that's all it's been.
And Indiana Street's on hold till after the new year.
Yeah, till after the new year, so it doesn't garble up everybody's holidays and New Year plans. Cause they're afraid that the pumps are gonna freeze overnight,
Yeah.
so they gotta figure out some way to heat the pumps, so it'll stay running through the Nahrwold bypass.
Hmm.
And right now, it's just too cold to do any kind of pumping out water outside. So, we got backup pumps in case something goes wrong, we can do some stuff. We got ways to keep it running till then, and everything else. Page Road's already done, Main Street's gonna be put up till next spring probably.
Oh, you're bumping that till next spring.
That's what it sounded. Yeah,
Yeah,
they went to Indiana Street. We didn't know. We thought they were going to Main Street next. So
Main Street's still missing some electrical components yet, so we went over to Indiana Street and the cold hit and everything just got pushed back a little bit, so.
Keep the citizens on Indiana happy.
Try to.
Should be no problem. Yeah, we got a backup pump, so if anything fails, we got an extra pump, so.
As far as digging and noise and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. For next spring, I'll keep this coming for a while. For next spring, I'd kinda like to see the no parking signs on Main Street by the ballpark moved to right with where the speed bumps are. So that people don't drive
We're
around,
some extras, yep.
they don't drive around
Oh,
the
around
speed
them.
bumps.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
we can
So
definitely
put
do
that on your agenda for next year.
We'll
Next
get it,
spring,
we'll get it done pretty quickly.
Yeah, 'cause some of those signs need replaced too.
Yeah, some of them are pretty dim.
Yeah, they're done.
And the tree right out here by the flag, it needs to be pruned down because the flag hangs up in it. Now, if you got a problem, I've got a telescopic pruner that you can use.
We have one, I just don't know if it'll reach that, but we still got the lip too.
Okay.
If we get a nice day out of it, maybe I'll
It'd be,
put it.
be good if it look a lot better anyway.
Well, that and when we're ordered to lower our flags to have staff, we're not complying to that, so that's another issue with that tree is it's not
Mhm.
allowing us to do that.
Okay.
Trimming it up, will it make it look funny to have it at lower staff, half staff?
We get over half staff, it goes right into the tree.
Well, then we probably should relocate the flagpole if it's gonna be interfering.
I'm asking, I mean,
I don't
I
know.
would do a different tree in, a smaller tree.
Well, let's trim it for now and get that.
Correct, that's just something to think about in the spring, we're coming up
Yeah,
here, maybe, yeah.
We're gonna cut back.
Okay.
I do have one other comment, with Casey there. So on the water, the situation with doing that water main under, whatever, the sooner that decision is made, up or down, the sooner they can start their, cause my understanding is they're waiting to do their 30-day test till they know what's happening with that. Because I think they gotta know what's happening with that, cause if it gets bypassed, then they can run that lateral over, do that work, and then they can start their 30-day test. I don't think they can do their 30-day
I think they were holding
Test.
off on that.
till that gets done or decided or done, or whatever, so.
All we can do is.
So I'm gonna say,
And we can do it, and then if they have to connect to it later, we
Sewer test is easy one,
Yeah.
hold man drill and do the vacuum,
we'll get that.
yeah.
We'll get that, we need to get that done and that approved, so that if we do need to connect to it, we can always connect to it
so
later.
you think they could go ahead then, with their 30-day test?
Yeah.
We have a contract here from Nahrwold on our snow ice removal, as well as salt application. that's already a part of your contract currently.
Is,
So how do we make any adjustments then if we're having, if we're having Nahrwold do it and AK?
well, right now, the equipment's down, that's the reason Nahrwold was doing it.
Yeah.
So it's not our, it's just there's no equipment, but I wouldn't, Eric's talked about it too, truck was down there for a long time, and I know the sander then seized up, the parts, I do believe, are finally in, so, but. Yeah, I mean, that's up to you guys, I would keep it in our contract, I wouldn't take it out, I mean, you get a dusting here that is gonna come in and someone's gotta notify everybody to come in and do it then.
Okay.
Ron just said he's gonna send somebody a check whenever there's precipitation. They stop by today.
So you'll still be doing the salting?
For now.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he told again what on the plow. Did you tell him after the last
Yes,
snow?
they came here yesterday, we had a meeting yesterday and talked about all of it.
Okay.
Well, you know, we've hired the extra guy to,
Correct, I think we're doing it, just the truck was down,
yeah.
and then actually the truck still, I don't know, was full power.
No, it's not.
Um,
Blew the turbo out of it again.
Well, you gotta get it back out to him, he's waiting on you.
Yeah, this stuff we've had come in has kind of
It's
been,
for the salt spreader.
yeah.
It's not the truck. We can still throw salt. I just gotta get the salt spreader going. The truck will still go through town. That's not the issue.
What's that?
The truck's not, we can still, the truck's not the issue right now. The truck can still get through town.
Yeah, yeah,
That's not a
yeah.
big deal.
Alright,
It's
This
a
is
salt
salt.
spreader. It's,
So he said he's ready for you,
yeah, he never called me, so
yeah, whenever he said he's waiting on you to bring it back.
I gotta try and get the salt spreader back up and going and get through this next batch of weather. And
It's coming.
I know,
Okay.
it's
What's coming?
next couple of days.
The bearings in the back of it, that salt destroys it.
Yeah, you gotta keep the stuff greased up. and-
Oh, yeah, and
That was the one thing over the summer I just lost track of was that.
and
Yep, do it
You gotta
every-
do a maintenance program, like I told you guys before.
I'm trying to get
monthly
extra
get
parts
that
built up. I got
We've
extra
got-
parts coming.
We've got, a lot of equipment, and we need to get a maintenance program going, and do it every month on the schedule. 'Cause
It's also 20-year-old equipment too, so.
that'll make a difference. You just still gotta repair it, you know, whatever it takes, you know.
Trying to keep it going.
Okay, next on the agenda is the calendar for council meetings. And if we go as we have in the past, I had it written down here. January, February, March, we meet the second Tuesday of the month, as well as on November and December, the second Wednesday of the month, I'm sorry, at 7 o'clock. The other months, we meet the first and third Tuesdays,
Wednesdays.
right?
Wednesdays.
Wednesday,
Not
I'm not
Tuesdays.
saying Tuesday, Wednesdays, thank you. I have Wednesday written down here in front of me.
Now, in January, we're doing the 7th, aren't we?
When are you gonna be going?
I'm leaving the 8th,
So we better do it the 7th.
yeah.
Okay. January will be the 7th. And then February will be the 11th.
Yeah. And March
then-
11th. And April's, what, the 8th? Or, wait, yeah, 8.
8 and
Does that
22nd.
go 2,
You go 1 and 3.
1 and 3?
Don't you do first and third week?
First and
Sounds-
third.
On the agenda.
Okay,
Yeah,
First.
April.
Yeah, April 9th and 23rd.
no, Wednesday,
First.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
No, I'm
this
talking
year,
about this
we
year.
had, we were
This
comparing.
year, I was just looking at
Okay,
this year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Did I get that right? January, February, March, the second Wednesdays. And then we go from April, May, June, July, August, September, October to the 1st and 3rd, and then in November and December, the 2nd Wednesday.
Except January, you said we were gonna do this first Wednesday, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do the 7th for January. Right.
And June is what,
June is
ten and what?
the 10th and the 24th.
No.
I
No,
think the third and the
Third,
17th.
third and
3rd and
seventeenth.
17th. Ah. Yeah.
First and third Wednesday, April, May, June, July, August, September, and October.
Yeah.
You said 1st and 3rd from April, May, June.
July, August,
Sorry.
September.
So then April wouldn't be the 8th and the 22nd.
No, it's
No,
the first and
first and
First and
First and
third.
15, one is 15.
April's the 1st and 3rd. May's 1st and 3rd Wednesday of each.
October's the 7th and 21.
Yeah.
Then do we, see, is it November we start?
November
Back
will
to
go,
1?
yeah, to 1, and that's on the,
It's on the 2nd.
yeah, it'll be the 11th.
11. And December the same, 9. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Stephanie, what do you have for us? Approving.
I have the December 10th council meeting vouchers totaling $539,559.98. As well as the gross payroll for November 11th totaling $6,331.75. The gross payroll for December 5th for $5,906.50, and the upcoming December 19th payroll for $6,275.32. I do want to make note of I had received receipts from Joyce for the breakfast with Santa. Unfortunately, I was not able to reimburse the Darlington receipt as it's not itemized. All it says it's just a general purchase. It doesn't break down what was purchased.
5 tablecloths. It's fine, I don't need it. Jim bought him when he was in there to cover our big phone. They're sitting over there right now. I paid him back the $35, so if you don't feel I should have that back, I'm not worried about it.
Well, it's not that I don't feel that you don't deserve it back. It's just it's not an itemized receipt to where I can reimburse.
Can't help what Darlington does.
I understand that.
So if you write on the receipt that it's table cover for that,
I did write it.
that would be adequate. Yeah. Okay,
That I don't know if it's accurate. I don't know the intricacies of the State Board of Accounts and reimbursement of expenses.
We don't even need to discuss it. I will eat the $35 again.
okay. Now, does the December 10th bill get us all caught up? I see some of these are October and so on. Did we get all caught up now?
So, there shouldn't have been any Octobers, but yes, there. I know Ryan's was October. cause you and I had that conversation.
Yeah, mine was billed from October, yeah, you got it.
I didn't get November's yet.
No, your guys' meetings fall, I usually make your bill, send the invoice in like on the 15th, that way for the following month. Your guys' meetings just go awkward. I mean, I wasn't late for October, we bill in November for October, so. Yeah, that's probably why mine says October, the October billing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think the new one's coming out, probably this week will be for November's.
Yeah, this is tough, cause it's,
Yeah, your meetings just fall weird, I mean, it's not, your meetings just fall weird, it's,
yeah, okay.
I don't want to have wife off schedule either, so.
Get her paid. Okay. Any other questions, comments?
No.
Okay.
Make a motion, to go ahead and pay the bill.
Payroll vouchers and regular payroll accounts.
And then since we're talking about the vouchers, obviously Nahrwold has already invoiced for salting for the last, well, I think I've got 4 invoices here totaling $8,213.50. So since that contract wasn't voted on it, we're gonna have to approve payment of those vouchers outside of agreement on that contract.
And,
That was due to our salt truck.
Plowing,
And plowing.
Get in here.
well, who knows when the snow's coming?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
No.
They haven't
simple
been
as
here
that.
for almost 3 years, they haven't.
You
plowed
gotta
our
pay the
pavement
bill
in 3
whether,
years.
Yeah.
whether it comes tonight or tomorrow or next day, you gotta pay the bill. No,
Okay.
I agree with, Stephanie, we need to vote on that, pay them
Mhm.
up to date.
You need the contract signed by us, is that what you're saying?
No, cause that contract that's in front of you is stating that they will be doing the salting.
They weren't under contract when they did it before.
Right, okay,
Or they didn't have a current contract, I guess it's right now here.
yeah, okay. So you just need a voice vote on
Yes.
paying Nahrwold for,
Make a motion, go ahead and pay the hourly rates for Nahrwold and whatever they are.
that would be for salting,
Salting and the plowing services.
Most of it, plowing.
yeah, plowing and salting.
Plowing zone.
Okay, motion, second, and the motion carries.
I think next week too.
Okay. Did you make a motion to pay the
Pay the bills, yeah.
That was seconded and carried. And what else you have?
I do wanna make note that, I will be posting a monthly schedule here at the town hall, for the days that I will be in office. There will be probably several that I will be here after 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then moving forward into the evening. I did acquire another full-time job that I will be juggling along with this. And like I stated, I will be hanging a month-to-month calendar here in town hall, along with my point of contact if there is something that needs to be handled outside of my availability, outside of that schedule. In stating that, due to my possible lack of availability, I would like to ask that council consider bringing on a secondary line to the Verizon service, to give to the Parks Board so they can, start taking park reservation calls on that line and then scheduling the park reservations.
And you feel you can take care of our community's needs?
Yes.
Joyce,
Yes,
how you feel about taking reservations for,
that's fine, because we've had people in panic mode because they have not gotten calls back for 2 weeks.
Okay.
I need the keys to distribute to them. I'm meeting a lady tomorrow. I got the lady for last Saturday contacted me on Friday evening with 63 people coming, cause there had been no phone calls back since before Thanksgiving. So I think that's good, especially with her picking up a full-time job.
Okay.
I also think there needs to be someone in here for the town, because we are servants of the town. They are paying our wages, and they're running in and out of here. My phone's ringing quite a bit about it. You know, also, that's fine with me. That's no problem. Put the check in her. I'll have them all paid by
We need
check.
to get all the keys for that and the footer gong, and somehow put that key box, put that in Erik's office.
Okay.
So
Well,
you-
that's the other thing I was gonna say, when they return a key, how often, you'll be in here weekly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know if the lady's having her big, not a flea market, what was she at, jewelry party?
Oh, that craft fair.
Cause she won't call back, and someone else wants to rent it, but I know you rescheduled it from November.
So there was a whole debacle with that one, because when she had called and made the reservations, she gave me the date for December for the month of November, and gave me the date for November for the month of December. So it was supposed to be on a Saturday, and she gave me the date for Thursday.
Okay.
So that's where
Oh, that got
her and I
messed up.
had issues. I will say she is a town resident,
Yeah,
so she's just a little more difficult to get a hold of.
okay. Yeah, 'cause I've tried her several times, and I don't see her flyers up this time at the pavilion.
Okay.
So, I know she wrote a whole lot about not renting it on the day she was supposed to, on every social media she did, but,
Yeah, that was.
right.
I read it back and I say, okay, you want it for November 10th or whatever it is. Yep, that's the date I want.
Right,
And that's what I wrote down. And then when she had came back in, I had already had it written down, or somebody else in for that Saturday.
right,
And she was like, well, no, I requested it. I said, I had you down for Thursday, not Saturday. And then we ended up finding out she gave me December's Saturday's date for November, if that makes sense. So
okay.
there was,
Yeah, I just need keys for tomorrow.
Okay.
Cause I'm still meeting them at the town hall. Whoever wants to rent it, I've just been giving them dates here to meet me at whatever time we both can be here, so.
Okay.
And then, oh yeah, you'll be here when, so they can still drop the key out front.
yeah, just
They can put it in the
have
office.
it, put them in that drop box.
They can't get in their office.
They can drop it in the Dropbox, they can slide it under the door. They can drop it off no matter what.
They can't, cause the door locks.
It fits in that utility drop box.
It's in the Dropbox too.
Yeah, just have got, she gets knocked, you can put them in, bring them back in every time.
Okay?
That's fine.
Joyce, do you have a master key
For here,
for, yeah, if it's,
to get it, yeah, for the meetings and stuff.
yeah,
Park
well,
board meeting.
we need to get it so she can get in. It needs to be locked up. And it would be good if we put it in Erik's, then she can use that to come through, you know.
Well, Erik has a key box in his office that we can put the keys
Okay.
in there.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine, that works,
After I retrieve them, I'll just hang them up in that box.
that's good.
What contracts do you need for 2026?
Ross is supposed to be working on the Baker Tilly one. He's out of office until mid-December.
Okay.
And then that Nahrwold.
And
His is updated.
We'll have
So-
ours in January.
And then, yeah, I was like, DLZ's always got it first thing in
okay,
January.
tree trimming, pruning, cleanup.
That was all, we pulled him in on a different basis versus the contract,
Okay,
correct?
good, good. None other that you know. Okay, don't have to go to work on that. Good. Any other comments from community?
Have we sent Robert's check out yet? For just seal it, that did the pavilion?
Yes,
When did it go out?
that went out earlier this week and was,
Cause he called me today. He still doesn't have it.
okay.
So it went out earlier?
It went out earlier this week.
Further
Breakfast, I wanna say one more thing. Breakfast one Santa went really well.
Did it?
We had 359.
There's a lot of people, there's a lot of people.
359.
Wow.
Yeah, we were, I was a little tired. When it was trying to keep up with pancakes and stuff, but it went really well.
Good.
It was a nice turnout, yeah.
It was a nice day.
Yes,
Hmm.
really, really went well.
Thank you for that work.
Well, you're
Brings
welcome.
people to Grabill in a happy way.
Yeah, well, you see those little babies come in and, yeah, it's
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah, good.
Good time, everything went well. Next year, we're gonna change it all up. I've been doing that, cause when Roger was president, well, even when Jeff was, well, it started right after, I think Jeff was there 1 year, then it went into Roger, so I think it's been 15 years I've been decorating the same stuff. Although our tree blew this year. We plugged it in and it kinda, and I was like, okay, I'll go get that tomorrow. But otherwise, yeah, we're gonna do something totally different next year, I'm excited.
Good.
Yeah,
There you go. Thank you.
you will.
Anything else from anybody for the good of council and the town of Grabill? If not,
Slime it home.
meeting adjourned.
Homer, there's one sheet there for you to sign.
Be careful. Yeah, thanks.
Claude, this is your sheet stack. Just sign them and then I'll separate them. And then Stephanie, Claude, Wilmer, there's a poinsettia there for all the council members and one for Stephanie.
Okay?
And then I got some sweets here for everybody